City Manager Witt. Madam Mayor, I will now turn the meeting over to you, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome, council, and welcome everyone that's here tonight or online. And we'll now call the meeting to order and do the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Pro Tem Woods, would you now give the invocation, please?
Dear God, we ask you to preside over this meeting tonight. Help us to act as a unified team, to open our hearts and make fair and just decisions that improve our community. Also, may we come together as a whole with the courage and strength to show kindness and compassion as we collectively work towards the betterment of Walled Lake. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Yes, and please, as a reminder for those attending virtually, please state the city and state that you're attending from. Ackley?
Here. Alpena?
Ambrose?
Michigan.
Thank you. Ambrose?
Here.
Fernandez?
Here.
Locke?
Here.
Lublin?
Here.
Osnick?
Here. Walled Lake, Oakland County.
Thank you. Woods?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a quorum. At this time, are there any requests for agenda changes?
Madam Mayor, Casey Ambrose here. I have two requests for agenda changes. One, typical for what we do each year, I think we should continue to pass that resolution to cancel the December meetings.
Okay, why don't we add that under new business?
Perfect. And then I do have a second one. I think it would be appropriate if we could have a discussion on certain businesses and the times they are open.
Okay. We'll probably put both of those under new business then.
Perfect. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a agenda request change to, if we could add to under new business, a resolution to amend one of the city's 457 plans.
Okay. We'll do that. Not much on the agenda is getting longer here. Anybody else want to add something?
Madam Mayor, do you have any?
No, I don't. I just would like a little less rain and a little warmer weather, but other than that, nothing. Okay. We have that. We now have a presentation. Do we have our auditors here tonight, Mr. City Manager?
Yes, we do. He's sitting in the audience, John.
Thank you.
The mayor's up there, but they're on.
Hi, John, wherever you are.
Over here.
Oh, there you are.
The principal of your independent auditors. We work with him for several years now. He works with Ms. Pesta and other members of staff, and so he's going to present to you the audit like questions, and he needs your direction to file it timely. That's all. With the motion, you can do that after he's made his statement.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, I'd like to start out saying thank you to City Council for having our firm as your independent auditors. It's a privilege. We love working with the staff. Coming out here, we've been your auditors for a number of years, and what's very important too when we're working on the audit is with the help of the staff that allows us to get the audit done timely and within budget, and also so it can be submitted to the state of Michigan upon your approval within the timely period, which would be by December 31st. Considering that you're maybe not having a December meeting, it'd be great if you could approve it later on tonight. With that, I would like to also mention that probably with the audit report, which is extensive, it's 68 pages, that I'm just going to hit a couple of the highlights, but probably the most important that everyone would be looking for is the opinion. And so what the opinion is we're independent auditors. These are your financial statements. We're just giving an opinion on them. And the good news is, which I have a lot of good news here tonight, is that we're issuing an unmodified opinion, which is the highest level that the independent auditor can issue, which is very important for a couple of reasons. It's with the state shared revenues, bonding. Very important for that to get you get a good bonding rating should you go up for that. But you know, the state of Michigan looks at that very strongly, and part of that too, which I'll touch on in a minute, is how you've improved your financial condition over, you know, the number of recent years, which has been really good. So what I would like to say about that is that actually by staying within budget, which City Council did, you did a great job, and you were actually able to add 1.6 to your fund balance, which again in previous years was not low, but it was important to build that up some, which you really did, which was good. So that's an important thing. And again, you've done that the last couple of years. The year before, I think it was 1.1 you added, and this year was 1.6. So that is very important that you understand that. And again, the financial statements are a little historic. They're as of June 30th. But again, it's important that that fund balance helps carry you into the new year and, you know, makes you stronger to, again, offer different services to the residents of the city of Walled Lake. Along with that, though, too, there's a couple areas that you've had to work hard over the years with, again, a lot of direction from the manager, Dennis Witt, and you've done a great job with. The first one I wanted to mention was the post-retirement health care liability. You've been able to, with negotiation, not have that increase at all anymore, and you constantly have been reducing it. This year, you reduced it by over $60,000. So that debt continually goes down, which is very important. And the other area, which is a larger obligation, you were able to, and what helped this year too is we got a grant from the state of Michigan, and with that grant, you were able to actually decrease your retirement benefits, and these benefits were benefits that were set up back way before, many years ago, before 2010. And what happened again is Dennis was able to get those benefits to basically stop as far as them growing, and you've been paying that down over time. And now the really good news is that debt was $11.8 million. Now it's reduced quite a bit. It's down to 7.2, which is substantial. And you really have 15 years to pay that off. So you have, you know, a good period of time now to work on that, which is very important. The other part of that is it's over 60% funded now. So the state of Michigan looks at it closer if you go below 60. And so the good news there is that now we're over the 60%, which helps a lot as far as the future. But again, with your fund balance growing, you have the ability to make sure you keep that under control in the future, which is important. So I did want to mention, with all the good things, that you still have to watch that benefit and make sure you continually reduce it. One other item too I wanted to mention is, it's really remarkable though, is that you paid over $100,000 of your debt and you're debt free now, which is pretty unusual, you know, for cities. So I'm not saying go out and get more debt, but it's good to be in that position right now. So I did want to mention that. So there's been a lot of different things that have been accomplished that we've witnessed in the years that we've been auditors, and you should really be proud of the job that you've done. So with that, I'll just open it up to any questions that you might have, and then at some point, if you could approve it tonight. Yep, go ahead, Ben.
John, you mentioned we've reduced pension benefits. We've reduced the pension liability, the pension benefit
Yes.
liability.
You're
is
right,
what
that's
has been
liability.
Reduced, and now that is, rather than being 35% funded, it's now 60% funded.
That's correct.
That grant from the state of Michigan.
Yep.
So just a clarification, pension debt liability
Ability.
has been reduced.
Is there anyone else that has comments or questions? John?
Thank you,
I
John.
would just like to say, John, it's so great to have you here in recent years and have good news.
Yep.
I'm one of the few council members, I think John Osnick was with us, but we weren't always as smiley when you came to visit us as we we have been in recent years. And thanks to our city manager and the staff that we have, it's really good news, and we appreciate everyone's hard work.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know if I'd be around, if you were going to keep me around either after the first couple of years, but we did it together. You did all the work, but I can take a little bit of credit. No.
I think a lot of it, and a lot of guidance to our staff.
And you mentioned you are giving us an unmodified
Modified.
opinion, which is the highest opinion that can be given.
Very important. Yep. Yep.
We've earned it.
All right.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you, John.
Okay, do we have this on the agenda, or do we want to
Motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Timely.
make the motion now?
Yes.
Madam Mayor, you have a motion.
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
That being
Okay.
2024-38,
Correct.
resolution of the City Council, of the City of Walled Lake to direct and authorize the independent auditors to file timely the 2024 year-end financial statements with the state.
Perfect.
Second.
We have a second. Do we have any further comments? Then let's do a roll call vote, please.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Good evening. Great holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you again. Okay, next on our agenda would be audience participation. We'll turn that over to the city clerk to acknowledge anyone in the audience who would like to speak.
Good evening. For those members of the public who wish to speak during audience participation via our virtual means, there is an opportunity to do so by pressing *9 on your telephone keypad. Pressing *9 will activate the raised hand feature with our virtual attendants, and we can acknowledge you at that time. You will have 3 minutes. Please introduce yourself by stating your name and address for the record. And at the conclusion of the 3 minutes, you will be muted and removed from public comment queue. For those participants who wish to speak in public currently in attendance of our meeting, you will have 3 minutes. Please approach the podium and speak directly into the microphone with your name and address, and you'll have 3 minutes to address the chair. Is there anyone from the virtual that wishes? There is none. Is there anybody from the public? Please approach the podium and speak directly into the mic for us. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and our city administration. County Commissioner Ajay Raman. I think most of you know me by now. With the election now over, I'm sure many of you have seen the results, and unfortunately we came up just about 200 votes short in our race, so that's 0.6%. So out of 32,000 votes, we were 200 votes short. Needless to say, it was a little bit of a gut punch, but really the purpose today is to come and at least bid everybody a farewell. I really thank everybody for the opportunity and sincerely appreciate the time I've spent in this role, meeting all of you, working with the city of Walled Lake. I feel like we just got things underway, and really one of the disappointments for me is now that we have the foundation built, I won't be here to see the house, kind of constructed thereafter. It's goodbye for now. I'm not sure what the future holds, and I'm optimistic that hopefully our paths will cross again and maybe continue to do good work, for our community. It's really important to me. I'm not going anywhere. So please always know that I'm here. I know the December meeting is canceled, so this will officially be my last meeting with all of you. And if there's ever anything I can do, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know you'll be in good hands with my successor. Nice gentleman, have nothing bad to say about him. He's a really good guy. Several years of experience. He serves on the Wixom City Council as well. So with that, just again, thank you again. Thank you to the residents of Walled Lake for all of your support and everything through these couple of years. And, I look forward to hopefully working with you and crossing paths again in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And AJ, I would like to thank you, and I've gotten to know you over the years since you've been elected, and you've done a great service for Walled Lake, and we appreciate everything that you've gone and worked for. And I hope that we see you again soon in some position. I know you're not going to go away. You're too dedicated an individual. And again, I say thank you.
Madam Mayor, I can't echo your remarks any more. Dr. A.J. Rahman was not only an advocate for the region he was responsible for, but he was an advocate for the city of Walled Lake. He attended many of our events, and so I can't thank you enough for not only being a member of that region, but also being an advocate and a spokesperson for the city of Walled Lake. So thank you. We look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Casey. Anyone else have any comment?
We hope your replacement is as involved as you have been.
Agreed.
Okay, I guess we can move on if there's anyone else in the audience.
Hi, Daniel Stocky, 2838 Coolidge Highway, Berkeley. Thanks for getting all together. I apologize if there's any confusion. I was under the impression that I would be able to give a presentation today based on some of the revisions we made on the Planning Commission, based on the parking, the building height, and the stormwater management. I did submit drawings November 6th to review. I don't know if you guys got that, but if not, I can present that. Is that possible? Or you can't comment on it right now?
All is possible if there's a motion to do that. If not, the only job of the council tonight is to give instructions to begin preliminary work on a DP,
Okay, well,
if the council wants to hear your presentation, they could make a motion to do that. Mayor, you decide.
Has planning commissions, I don't think their meeting has actually, the minutes have even been approved yet, have they?
No, they were temporary.
From their meeting?
No, they have not.
Okay.
Well, he wants to make a presentation about some changes that he has submitted to the city, which few people have seen, only a few, but that really, that would come into play if the city council entertains drafting an agreement or moving forward on that before we bring it back to the council. So it's up to the council as a group to decide if they want to hear a presentation more than a 3-minute speech.
I can hit him real quick too, but I probably only have like a minute left.
You'll be all right with the time, I think.
What's the pleasure of council?
I'll try to keep it brief and just go through it later on.
Do we want to stick with it with new business number 1, or do we want to keep it?
You can do it right now, whatever you want, Again, he's here, get it over with, and that may take a minute.
I don't want to interrupt anything, but yeah, I'm here, but also I can wait until our new business meeting, number 1, so.
You make the motion and see if the majority wants
I'll make the motion to let you speak and
the presentation.
the presentation, yes.
Am-
Show us what changes you've made.
Yeah.
Ambrose will second.
Okay, are you talking about allowing that now or later in the meeting? I didn't catch what you're wanting.
Now, Madam Mayor.
You can do it now.
Okay, I'm just wondering if there's any audience participation that they're waiting to speak, that we want to let the audience go and he could be the last person as part of the audience.
That's a good point.
I think we're okay with waiting.
If there's anyone else that wants to speak.
Madam Mayor, some of the audience members are okay with the developer going first.
Okay, that's fine. I can't see the audience all the time,
You're
so
good.
thank you.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay, all right then. Let's go ahead.
I appreciate
Call the
that.
question.
Let's go ahead and have a vote on the motion then.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Eckley.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear what you have and what changes you want to make.
Just waiting for the presentation to come up. Thank you.
You're getting pretty good at that, Hannah. Record time.
Okay. So presenting? I'll try to keep this brief because I know we weren't that, so I might go through these slides a little bit faster, but we all know the site, historic downtown district, downtown overlay district, and the C3 zoning. We're going through the CPD process, the commercial plan development process. Yep. So the planning commission approved this last month based on, us looking at the parking, the building height, stormwater. So we looked at all of those. You could see on the very front, we moved the sidewalk north onto our property a little bit more to allow parking up front. So we have pictured parallel parking spots up front, but we're just allowing room for let me just skip through this, for the downtown special assessment district to have enough space to do parallel parking spots, diagonal parking spots, whatever parking spots they want. So we're just moving our sidewalk north, more onto our property to allow that assessment to happen, because I don't want to influence what the city has envisioned, but we're doing that. So that adds 7 parking spots. We included the original 4 on Witherall and the 2 on Furland. So in total, we're adding 13 parking spots in your downtown. And it's just a zoomed in photo. So, I mean, the fire hydrant remains there, but again, we'll like to further discuss this with the city, what they want there. So on the plans, just propose future right-of-way parking and sidewalk. And you can see it here in the 3D image. So that should allow a lot more parking. In regards to parking, we are under negotiations with one of the nearby churches for an additional 10 to 15 parking spots, which would be for overflow, which we will utilize during construction as well. So we're not trying to take any public parking spots while we're under construction or have residents park on the street, because we want all the residents to park in the back of the building. As far as the building height goes, we fine-tuned our building height. We reduced it by, slightly a few inches. But there's a couple, we also produce some path studies that show shadows. I can show you that on the next slide. But just to highlight some master plans, the historic district allows 2+ stories in your master plan. So that's on page 113. So, and the downtown already has existing buildings over 3 stories. The new building should not ideally be exceeded the height of their neighbors by more than 1 and 2 stories. That's on page 29. Our neighbor to the east is 3 stories if you include the walkout basement, and our neighbor on the west is 1 story. And then in the DDA guidelines, the new construction should not be any taller than the rear lot line than a 45-degree angle, line extending up. So based on this, we're well in the realm of all of those miscellaneous. This is just a brief sun study we did to show some shadows. And I mean, these don't appear to affect the neighbors as much because the site is sort of its own block and island. The catering business right behind would be the most affected, but it can't have windows on the south side because it's on the property line. And even a 2-story building in the winter would maybe block some shadow. So it's not conducive on the 3rd story itself. It's just because the sun is a lot lower in the wintertime. So you can see the top one on the left is June 21st, 9 a.m. And then the bottom is June 21st, 3 p.m. So not a lot of shadows there. You see it in the wintertime, but wintertime the sun's a lot lower. And then a few other reasons for the 3rd story is just cost of construction. I mean, labor and materials gone up. 20 years ago when the master plan was drawn up, 2 stories might have been achievable, but in today's economy, building standards, and state and county requirements for storm, it's not achievable for like a standard podium style mixed use building. Oakland County requirements changed in November of 21. Used to be a 10-year storm. Now you got to do a 100-year storm. So that's really expensive. Also, I'm in the new storm, which I'll go to next. We are doing some infrastructure for Walled Lake itself, just to connect this building to your existing connections. And then the contamination from the previous gas station. I mean, there's a lot required there. It's probably going to be a little over $1 million, and there's only $1 million grant. So, and I've been trying to arrange a meeting, but the city wants to get this approval before arranging that meeting. But we need to move that process so we can capture that grant money. And that grant money is not taking money from the city; it's taking money from the state. So a little bit different. Oakland County.
Where's that, what grant is that from the state?
It would be, I mean, do you?
Eagle or?
It would, yeah, it would be Eagle. Eagle. Every city has the ability to capture a $1 million grant for their brownfield. And Walled Lake hasn't, no one's been capturing now. Their fiscal year started October 1st, so I'm just trying to be accelerated before someone else tries to capture that, because the project is, again, not feasible without getting that grant. And this being across the street from the public beach, you would really want to not prolong this whole process even further.
Thank you.
And then as far as storm management goes, so we met with Boss Engineering October 16th, talk about everything, and then per discussions with Boss Engineering, the storm now goes to the east of the proposed building. And if you had any more questions with the storm, I can probably get my civil guy to come on Zoom. But so we're connecting the basin on the very north of the side to our system, and then going all the way to the south side of Walled Lake. So that's 240 linear more feet of public stormwater we're adding. We're doing the 100-year storm on our property, so all that water should be contained on our property. And then we're improving the infrastructure going across the street to on the south side of Walled Lake of the things you already. What does it say on there?
Did you want me to read the summary from Civil?
I might have her read that real quick. It's just a paragraph, but the Mercer Beach Phase 2 did some infrastructure work in 2022, and it's just connecting that. Right now, it's an undersized pipe, so we need to size appropriately to get it across the street. So we all coordinated that with the city, the Boss Engineering, and they all liked it, but we're waiting for those drawings to get sent back to them, which I assume that was happening 2 weeks ago. So, and then here are the renderings again. So the front parking. Some more updated renderings with the parking up front. And then we're just going into the floor plans, which, you know, Folio is on the first floor, and I have a representation from Folio. He operates our day-to-day operations, Gary. It would be good to get a refresher of what Folio can bring to the downtown. He'll just take a quick, 2 minutes. And then on top of that, it's just all the residential. So this is all exactly the same. Nothing's, since I've been here, city council, I want to say 3 months ago or 4 months ago, pretty much the design hasn't changed. It's just fine tuning with the city engineers and just making sure everything's good. So from your approval to planning commission approval back to you guys, you know, we're willing to, we're looking to get approval. I mean, we're very excited about this development. We put a lot of effort in here, and we would like to get approval or approval with conditions, and we're open to further discussions and revisions. However, clear guidance is needed so we can move forward. We put significant effort into this project over the past few months, and we're seeking the support to bring this vision to life. If I could just hand it to Andrea for a quick minute just to read that storm, and then I'll hand it to Gary for a quick minute as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Andrea Elick, the architect of record. I'm just going to read a summary of the meeting that occurred on October 16th with Boss Engineering and the city engineer and Mario. This is just summarizing some of the public improvements in stormwater management that were proposed and coordinated with them. Okay, so what was decided is 4 on-street parking spaces are provided along Witherell Street where none currently exist. This both adds additional public parking and provides curb and gutter to prevent erosion and ponding along Witherell. 7 additional on-street spaces are shown along the north side of Walled Lake to be coordinated with the ongoing downtown special assessment plans. Regarding the stormwater management, the project will provide roughly 240 lineal feet of public storm sewer within the Witherell Street right-of-way. This will connect the existing undersized storm sewer system into the new system on the south side of Walled Lake Drive, built in 2022 as part of the Phase 2 Mercer Beach improvements. Along with this, an underground stormwater detention basin sized to the 100-year storm event, as well as stormwater quality units, are provided on site to treat, detain, and release stormwater runoff at a controlled rate to the city system. The stormwater design was done in accordance with all recommendations made by city staff, including Brad Mackey, the city engineer, and Mario during the October 16th meeting. So if there are any questions on that meeting, we can probably direct them more to the civil engineer. I can try to answer them as best as possible.
Can I get a clarification from the city manager? So they're talking about special assessment. I know it's been part of discussions, but we don't have any plans cemented right now.
We did not. The city council will be involved in that directly. I meet tomorrow morning with the city engineers to see where we are on completing the survey downtown. As I said many times before, we can't really move ahead until we get a survey and know what's underground and top of ground and all that. So that should happen early in the morning. By January, we'll have some more idea of what we got and where we're going to go. This council decides on all of that, and I'll meet with the city attorney to lay out a process, not only from the management point of view, but from a legal point of view to get it right, provide it to council, each member, and we can talk about how to get that all done. But there will be, this coming year, special assessments downtown, that we believe that's going to happen.
And we had our civil engineer draw that based on the current lines of Walled Lake. So based on the current lines, that's what we could put in. But I know if you guys want to do a lane shift to get more parking, we're just moving that sidewalk up onto our site just because of that. So we're willing to work with the city and what they want to see there. And then as far as Folio goes, I just want to have Gary just say a few words because he is a current member and a managing partner in Folio.
Hello, Madam Mayor and City Council members, Edmonds. My name's Gary Horton, 803 Maple Grove Avenue, Royal Oak, Michigan is my address. I really just came to speak today. I've known the developing group for a long time, decades at this point. I've watched as they have grown from single-family homes to commercial developments and really adding impact to communities. I've been specifically a member at the Berkeley Folio location and the Ferndale Folio location. I own a logistics company that has been headquarters in the Ferndale Folio location for the last couple of years. And I just wanted to speak a little bit about my personal experience and what I have seen that do for both Ferndale and Berkeley, both growing communities. This was unique to those spaces. They didn't have office sharing. And the impact that I saw was kind of interesting. I've been in Ferndale for a long time, more specifically, is that it brought in a lot of new consumers because you're offering a service to the local residents who maybe want to get out of their house, have a place to work. Maybe their office is not conducive at home to concentration or spending time. And they have companies that want to support that work flexibility, and Folio offers a nice option in your city. But additionally, I've seen people come into Folio pulled from outside the city as consumers for local businesses, coffee shops, restaurants, retail, et cetera. And that's been exciting to see that actually come to fruition for the people around us. I'm a big believer. I've had my business in Ferndale for a long time. Seeing the positive impact that Folio has had for their businesses has been something I've really enjoyed watching grow. And so I wanted to come and sort of introduce myself, offer myself up for any questions about my experience, the experience I witnessed at both locations, what I've seen it do for the cities that contain them, and what I think it possibly could do for Walled Lake given the plans and the additional exciting residential on top. And so I was interested to hear sort of the public comment to see if there's any color that I could provide to the citizens of Walled Lake about what my experience has been, and just offer myself up as a resource. I'll stop there if anyone has any particular questions for me before my time is up.
Anyone on council have anything?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, please, if that changes, let me know.
Thank you.
I did go through that a little fast, so I appreciate you giving us the time. Gary's a much better presenter than I am, but my work does speak for itself. I done some very nice renderings for you guys and willing to work with the city more on anything. So thank you for your time, and let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary.
Thank you.
So, Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to receive and file the presentation and include it in today's minutes.
I'll second that.
I think that's appropriate.
Okay. Any comments from anyone? Let's go ahead and do a roll call on that.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak at this time?
Yes, there is someone approaching, Madam Mayor.
No, okay.
You can adjust the ad. Thank you.
I'm a little shorter than our last presenters. Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa Dean. I am the owner of gaming company at 239 East Walled Lake Drive. I just wanted to come up and talk about the Watermark Terrace project. I think the idea is great. My only concern is the parking, right, which you guys did try to address in here. What I'd really like to see is just an understanding of how dense the parking can get during those summer months. With those proposed changes, are they enough to allow adequate parking in downtown so we still become a place where people can go walk around and enjoy that area? So I really just wanted to come up here and say that that's really my only concern with this project, and wanted to just really encourage the city council to make sure that they understood the impact of that before moving forward with the decision or working with the team to get that worked out prior to approval. So that's all I really had to say, but just wanted to make sure that we all thought that through, because I am a little bit concerned for the possible impact that could have on particularly my business, but also the rest of downtown. All right.
Okay, I thank you, and I think that's everyone's concern. Anytime we add a business, especially a new building, there's going to be impact, and we know that. And I think the city manager and staff is working diligently to try and figure out as best we can what the impact will be.
I think there's
So we haven't forgotten the current businesses. Anyone else?
Yes. Hey, Mayor. Nate Marco again. Thank you for that. I appreciate what you guys did there with the parking spots. But here's a couple things I didn't know. I didn't know now that
What's your name?
Nate Marco, live on 115 Arvita. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know now we could claim our walkouts as a third story. Thank you for telling me that, because now I can get added value out of my house. However, the one couple things that they didn't address too is the density that this third story is going to cause. I think that is a little bit of a problem that they still haven't addressed, and something that we heard originally in the Planning Commission, we heard last month when some of this stuff was going through too. The amount of people that we're actually going to put down there as permanent residents too. You can debate or not if people are going back to work and their business maybe isn't the proper model anymore. That's not up for us to judge. But we are saying that when we added the storm catcher and all that, and it's making it 100 yards, that's because we already had a density problem in the state, not just the city. And now you're telling us we're going to give them a third story to add on a more dense problem in a place we already have parking, we already have traffic issues. And already we see some businesses that are growing, like Gaming Co. that just came out there, and how that's going to affect them and the rest of the businesses that have been successful down there. I appreciate them coming out with a new plan with parking. It looks good. I hope they still continue to work with us. And I think after we get the special assessment on January, that might be a time where we can revisit maybe a couple more recommendations for it. They seem to be working with us, the city, and that's all we want, right? We just want a fair shake of it. And they asked when we could give them a better direction, and it sounds like after January, we could give them a little better direction. So I hope you guys take that into consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else from the audience? Madam Mayor, there's no one else from the audience.
Okay, thank you. Moving on here. I got all my notes and papers covering up my agenda. Okay, we have the approval of the minutes from the meeting of October 15th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have support. Roll, is there any comments? Roll call, please.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go into council reports. We'll start with Mindy Fernandez. Do you have any reports tonight?
Yes, Parks and Rec met last night. I want to acknowledge Commissioner Giovanni Rogers and Chair Dennis O'Rourke for being here. Thank you. We talked about the marketplace and how great it was this year and how we made great strides in that this year. And we're looking for bigger and better next year, which I think they will be able to do. The other big thing is we have the holiday tree lighting. It's Friday, December 2nd at the Safety Campus, the KCJ.
Friday?
Monday, sorry. Monday, December 2nd.
Never do it on Friday.
And there will be hot cocoa, entertainment, and of course, the big guy. And we'll sing songs. It'll be fun. It's always a great event.
Thank you. Anyone else? Bevin, do you have anything?
I do. The library met last Friday. We welcomed our new library board member, Melissa Paul, and we're happy to have her. And we're getting ready. The library is going to be at the tree lighting ceremony and in the firehouse, and we'll have activities and giveaways and things like that. And it's the holiday season.
Sounds good. Casey, anything?
Yeah, actually, I'm sure some of you know I am a business owner at Casey's of Walled Lake for 37 years. We've had some exciting new neighbors up here in our district, and so we just want to thank them, welcome them, that being Taco Bell at 800 North Pontiac Trail, ERA, which is a fitness gym, call it a fitness center, at 1075 East West Maple at the old liquor store, and then as well as what we call the Salvation Army Plaza, the new Mexican restaurant that has joined the city of Walled Lake. So exciting things continue to happen, Mayor. That's all I have to report on.
Thank you. Tamara, do you have anything?
Nope, nothing today.
Ryan, anything?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Mayor, I attended the Walled Lake Western Pinkout game. I wanted to report on that because it's a fantastic event for the community supporting cancer. Obviously, the Western football team was doing great up until this past Friday, but a great event to raise funds for cancer. My middle school student got to participate in the band. My elementary student got to participate with the cheerleaders. And then on top of that, Watkins Flower, Tuffy, Lynch and Sons also help promote and sponsor the event too. So that's nice to see some community event in our high schools.
Okay. Did I hit everybody? Oh, Mr. Osnick, you're out there someplace.
I'm out in space here. But no, it's the planning commission did not meet last week, so we have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Mayor's report. I'd just like to thank everyone who participated and showed up as one who handed out candy or the ones who brought their children to the Mayor's Trunk or Treat in conjunction with the greenhouse. It just seems to be getting bigger and better every year. And I couldn't believe the number of participants we had this year coming. The kids just kept on coming. And it was a great event. And I hope next year is even a bigger event. So everybody who participates with a trunk had better fill it up even fuller, because I think we're going to have more kids. And looking forward to our tree lighting on December 2nd. That's always another event that's fun for the mayor to partake in, and have all the little kids up on the stage as we light the Christmas tree and welcome Santa to town. So we've had some good events. We got some more coming up, and things are, as usual, looking good in the city. So I'm very, very happy. City managers report.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. First item for me I would request that you move to receive and file the departmental and divisional statistical reports known as the consent agenda.
So I have a motion, please.
Ambrose will make the motion.
It's a second. Either or.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Do we have any questions or comments for the city manager? Being none, roll call, please.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next item I have for you, Mayor, is I would like to point out a couple of things that we did get done, not what we didn't get done. So I'll pass on until January updates on these undone projects that are going around town. We opened a Taco Bell. We got that done, not without some interesting happenings at Taco Bell. We got a large semi stuck. Even as it was engineered for semis, they put a bigger one in there and had to tow it home. I've been there. It's a different layout, so get in there and look at it. I've also been to the Mexican restaurant. It's a great place. The food's good. There's a lot of those around now, but they're worthy of a visit by everybody and the family, and I've been there numerous times. The next issue that I bring up is Ladd Road. We got a completion of Ladd Road. Not only did we get it paved, but we've got it striped. So there's some additional work done on Maple, which touches onto the edge of Wall Lake going towards Wixom. But we got Ladd Road paved all the way from Pontiac, which goes by the bowling alley, all the way up to the trail area on the other side of the trail. It's where our jurisdiction ends, but of course the county paved it all the way up to McCoy. And McCoy heads out to Benstein Road. So you got a nice path there. I've given instruction to the Superintendent of Public Works to begin putting in sidewalks from the trail area towards Maple, to the extent that we can get that in right now. He's got instructions to go ahead and do some sidewalk work so that people on the trail ultimately will be able to walk to Maple. So we got more work to do, but we can get some of that done maybe before the snow flies. The next item that, if you haven't noticed, our 3D gateway signs are up, all of them, all 6. So you go through, you'll see that our signs are upgraded and looking pretty good. We got a few more of those things happening around town come next year, but take a look at your gateway signs. The only other thing I'd like to shout out to the police department and the fire department. They've done some great work. The police chief, the fire chief had one of the worst events you can have. That was an accident here. Chief, you got anything to say about that? Why don't you come up and tell them the latest? And then that's all the bad news we got. But the reason you need to know about that is because I think it might come up later about, because you put it on the agenda, where they may have been coming from, one of the businesses, but we lost 2 young people to an accident. Well, they crashed into a tree going 97 miles an hour down Pontiac. Chief, give us the details as best you're allowed. And I have this feeling we're going to be talking about that business later. Is that the business you talked about?
You're gonna have to sit and wait.
Huh?
Figure it out.
It's a tease.
Okay, well, then Chief's gonna set you up for it. We'll go right into that, Chief.
Beautiful. Thank you, Chief.
So several weeks ago, 1:30 in the morning, we had a crash that occurred. You can't call it an accident, it's a crash. Pontiac Trail east of Decker Road. Reason the manager knows that the car was going 97 miles an hour. One of our radar signs was placed on Pontiac Trail, just east of Decker. Was going so fast that it couldn't even take the picture, but it recorded the speed at 97 miles an hour. Shortly after that, the car lost control and went off the roadway, struck a very large oak tree, and one of the occupants, the front passenger, was killed instantly. The rear passenger was extricated by the fire department and taken by ambulance within minutes. The driver, on the other hand, it took well over an hour to get him out of the car. 3 different fire departments. I watched our fire department, the professionals that they are, spent an enormous amount of time to get that gentleman out there. And he is the driver. We believe he's intoxicated, and he survived. He had no driver's license, wanted by several jurisdictions on outstanding warrants, and as a parole absconder. That's the clientele that came into our town that night. When he was released from the hospital, Department of Corrections was there and picked him up and took him directly to prison. So the investigation's ongoing. I can't say much more than that, but our detectives working hard on pursuing additional criminal charges. But two passengers were killed that night.
Chief, 2 questions. Question 1, at what time did this crash occur?
1:30 in the morning on a Tuesday.
You answered my second question. Thank you.
The chief won't go into it detail, but we do believe it came from his Wall Lake business. The question is, what are they doing there that late at night, that kind of thing. That's what their investigation is going to find out. But it's the same place that their security guards has long guns. And as puzzled as I am from my background, why you need a security guard with a long gun, an AK-47 or AR-15 or whatever it is they're carrying. That makes no sense unless there's something strange going on. So we're going to find out more, and we'll let you know as subtly as we can. So, Chief, thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Our flock cameras, aren't they close?
So
that
So
one?
yes, so there's a flock camera that catches incoming traffic. The vehicle had a paper tag in the window with tinted windows, so the flock camera did not pick it up. So, yeah. Council.
Thank you.
Final thing, Mayor, I'd like to give a shout out to Ms. Pesta for throwing a great trunk or treat along with the mayor and Jerry Millen with the greenhouse. So it did go well, and we're pleased with that. And that concludes my remarks for the evening.
Thank you. Okay, do we have any correspondence?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Attorney, would you have anything you'd like to report tonight?
No report.
Okay. There being appears no unfinished business, we'll move into new business.
Did we put 457 under unfinished?
No, it's under new.
No, it's under new.
Number 5.
Number 5.
My bad.
Can you, what do you want to put under?
Nothing, Madam Mayor, nothing. I misspoke.
Okay. Casey, I believe under new business, you had 2 items.
That is accurate, Madam Mayor.
And I can't read the first one. I can't read my writing. I was trying to keep up with you.
Yes, first item was a resolution passed to cancel our December meetings as we have.
Okay, thank you. That's what I wrote. I guess that's what I wrote.
That's all right.
Okay, this has been done. I can't remember how many years now, and it's worked out, I think, for everyone, and it's a good idea to cancel all the meetings, all the city meetings for December. If do we have the resolution in a packet, or did we do one yet?
There's a resolution that can be a shared screen, Madam Mayor.
Pardon me?
There is a resolution that can be a shared screen, Madam Mayor.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay.
Okay, we have the resolution up. When everyone has a chance to look at it, if someone's ready to make a motion,
I'll make that motion.
Ambrose will second.
we have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any further discussion?
Do we need to add all city meetings to that? It just says city council. Correct?
I believe the mayor said all city meetings, correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, just reading the resolution. You want to amend it to include?
Yes, can I amend it to say all city meetings?
Okay, and it's not in it because I can't see the whole document.
It's now there.
Oh,
It's now there.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Okay, if it's not in there, then I think, yes, we should add it.
Of December 2024.
And this is resolution what? 2024-39, I think?
39, yes.
Sounds good.
You want to put in a 39 on there while you're doing it? There you go.
What a guy. What a guy.
Okay.
Superb.
We got a motion, correct? We got a motion with the corrections, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
Madam Mayor.
Okay, we have a second?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Then let's take a roll call.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes. Okay, Councilmember Ambrose, did you have anything else you wanted to discuss regarding a operation time for businesses?
I did, Madam Mayor, and I think maybe it might be appropriate to get city attorney and city manager's opinion before we continue on that conversation, as we do have a ongoing investigation. Is that appropriate to have a conversation about this?
I think it would be a good idea to wait. I think we already know what the conversation is going to be about, but we'll be talking about something without facts. You probably need the facts. You can
Fine with that.
instruct the city attorney to review the law on closing businesses earlier than they want to, or something like that. But
No.
talking about the business, we probably shouldn't do until we get more facts.
Okay, I'm comfortable
I
with that.
can discuss generally, without being specific to any particular business, some potential options available to the council. As council knows, some of our businesses, a few of our businesses in the city are required to have a local business license. That's something that is in addition to the zoning approval that all businesses need in order to operate. You know, it could be site plan approval, it could be, special land use approval, could be both. But in addition to that, there are a few businesses, for example, the marijuana businesses, that they are required to have a non-zoning business license in order to operate. And that is something that is required by the city's code of ordinances. And it is something that each business that is required to have this license applies for individually and separately, independently of any other types of approvals that they need, such as zoning approvals. And it's something that they are required to do on a yearly basis. So when they get a business license, it's only good for 1 year. That means that they can only operate under the auspices of that license for 1 year after it's been issued. After that, then they have to apply for renewal. And every time a business applies for renewal, we look back at that business, make a determination, are they in compliance with the various regulatory codes and ordinances? Have there been problems associated with this business? Are there other, health, safety, public welfare reasons as to why, the city would not want to renew that business license? So that's one means of regulating certain types of businesses a little bit more closely, based on, recent events, occurrences, things that have happened, and also a way of adopting various regulatory requirements on these businesses, such as hours of operation. You could, and we have that for our marijuana businesses. They're only allowed to operate during certain hours. They're only allowed to operate during certain days. So that is something that there may be other things that the city wants to do in addition to that, as it relates to any specific business and any specific immediate issues that may be associated with any specific business. But certainly that is at least one thing that I think the city would want to do going forward, so that we can address these things and regulate them a little bit more closely than we currently do. Problem with zoning is once you give them zoning approval, then they pretty much have it forever. It's not like they have to come back and reapply for zoning approval every year, and then we get to decide whether or not to approve it. It's a one-time thing, and once they get it, they pretty much have it, and it's a property interest, and if you try to take it away, your city's being exposed to litigation and takings claims and whatnot. But with the business license, it's a little different. You have a little bit more regulatory flexibility, and it's just a tool that I think is better suited to doing the kinds of things that the city may want to do in this situation. So just kind of the heads up
Good to
there.
know.
That's good to know.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, City Attorney.
Thank you very much.
I don't think we need to have further conversation.
Okay, is that all on that item
Yes, Madam Mayor.
for tonight? Okay, the next item, it looks like under new business, is the 457 grant.
Yes, if we could go back to item number 2 real quickly under new business, the proposed resolution 2024-40 for the scheduled regular meetings for 2025. That would be greatly appreciated if council could review that resolution real quick, and then I'll get into the 457.
Okay. Okay,
I always seem to make them.
you've got the schedule here. I just saw it a minute ago. Okay. Anybody have any concerns with any of the dates?
January and February is always a problem for me because it's the day after a holiday. So chances are I won't be here on those days.
Yeah, we'll just function as best we can. Any other comments on the dates? Are we ready for a motion?
Osnick will make the motion, a resolution establishing the time, place, and the 25th, 2025 schedule of regular meetings of the city of Walled Lake pursuant to the city charter, providing for publication. This being proposed resolution, resolution 2024-40.
Ambrose will second.
Okay. Any further comments, issues, questions? If not, roll call, please.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Hernandez?
Yes.
Locke?
Yes.
Lublin?
Yes.
Osnick?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Ackley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Now is it time to go on to 457?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight, we do have a resolution authorizing the termination to one of our 457 plans. It's our John Hancock retirement. Currently, there are no employees, active employees in this. So to avoid any more administration annual fees, we're looking to clean up some of our records and terminate this retirement plan going forward.
Okay,
Lublin will make the motion to cancel the John Hancock retirement program or plan and avoid needless spending.
I'll
Fernandez will
second that.
And, ooh.
That being
Like streamlining.
2024-41.
Yeah.
41,
Love streamlining and love
This
saving
council
money.
does not like spending
Yes.
money that's not necessary.
and Fernandez. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Mhm.
Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Fernandez.
Yes.
Locke.
Yes.
Lublin.
Yes.
Osnick.
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I think that's everything that's on the agenda.
Madam Mayor, I have one item thinking, I'd like to make a motion to instruct our city manager and city attorney to develop a preliminary plan with the presenters today of Watermark to come back before council. I think that is where it needs to go.
You need a second to have the discussion.
I'm not hearing a second.
Ambrose will second.
Okay, we got a second for discussion.
Now you can discuss it. If you don't vote to do anything, it goes nowhere.
I just think it's a little early in the process.
Well, I think that they've presented, so it's time to, to develop a preliminary plan to come before us. We're just moving things to the next step. And I think our city manager and city attorney need to be, working on at least so that when they come back to present, then we have the real plan. Because right now, it's all just, what we see. We really don't know, the real parking, we, in order to make a basis, I think we need a type of a preliminary plan, and they're the ones to construct it.
Do we also have to wait until we get our possible special assessment report that's hopefully going to come in January
Lays out the boundaries.
before we move forward and decide we're going to accept the plan? Are we putting the cart before the horse here?
I think we should wait until at least we get the special assessment.
You may be getting some consultant reviews as well, like from the planner and the engineer. Those may be forthcoming.
And it sounds like the plan is great, but again, until we get some of these reviews coming in,
Yeah, that's important.
we've kind of got one side of the plan.
We need to have that information.
Madam Mayor, this is Mr. Osenek. I think it's rather premature because right now everything is still in flux as far as what's going on. We have a whole month to think about this, and also we have to wait on what we have as far as our assessment, as far as what we have underground, above ground, etc. So those are all things that are mitigating factors that preclude this thing being put to bed, so to speak, right tonight.
And I wholeheartedly agree.
We would not be putting it to bed tonight.
Nothing's being put to bed. It's just a matter of, moving the process along, and the other reports and consulting will be part of your preliminary report that you'll be presenting back to us.
I can't agree with fellow city council member Bennett Lublin enough. I mean, you guys have to remember, if we don't continue to help make this process go along, fellow developers will find another city that will help them move along. That is not on us. We need to continue that process. Tonight, we wouldn't be voting yes on starting construction. We would be voting yes on continuing the process. And so that's what needs to be remembered tonight, is that it's not construction starts tomorrow. It's continuing to work with, say, developer and work with city to figure out exactly what we want our downtown to look like.
Well, they will continue the process
they're still
whether
working
we
on it.
do this or not.
I have no objections to
They'll
the
keep going to
motion
planning,
made by
coming back.
Councilmember Lublin. It's not it's not an approval at all. It simply says it is moving it ahead. Anything that comes up is packaged up. We will be reporting back to you, whether it's consultants and all of that comes back to the council, and maybe more than one time. But it could give a start on terms of how to do that. I believe that the city attorney drafted up a preliminary agreement last time before that one died. I think we were that far along. I don't recall the details of that, but there's no approval in the motion he made. He simply said, move it ahead, and whatever information we collect between now and the next meeting would be part of that. And we may not even be prepared, even if you give that instruction, to come back at the next meeting and say, this is what we got. We can report where we are, but we may not be far enough along. Not sure that we should have discussions about doing a special assessment before we deal with this. I think you move ahead on this, and if they come together, that's a good thing. But it doesn't mean that the special assessment, I mean, if you delay that or that takes a lot longer, then you're basically denied the project, and you're allowed to do that if you want. But I don't have any objection to that. I don't believe it's an approval. I don't want it to be an approval. I think that a whole lot of more research needs to go into it, and that's what you would be instructing us to do. That's how I interpret his motion.
Ditto.
So we're just starting to put pen to paper on the plans that they currently have.
The city attorney starts doing a draft of a CPD agreement. 'Cause that's the final approval. You approve the agreement. Council approves the agreement. Mayor and council vote. That's it. You don't approve that agreement, nothing gets done. But we can move it ahead by accepting that motion. I mean, if it passes, we move it ahead. If not, it doesn't kill it unless you say we're not going to do the project, but it delays it at least to the next meeting or the next time it comes up. I won't move ahead on anything until council gives us instruction. There's earlier tonight, I think the applicant made a reference to funding and all of that. And it may sound like we don't want to help. Well, it's not my role to help until I know whether council is going to approve it or not. I'm not going to be involved, and I've instructed staff not to be involved in seeking funding for a project that hasn't been approved by city council. That's just good business on my part. I don't get involved until council makes the call. This is your call. It's not mine. So
Preliminary. This is the first step.
I think it is. I think that no matter how, we're going to have to, if you're going to approve it, or you got to get it there. You got to take it, and if council doesn't like the final agreement, the final give and take, that's, city attorney will tell you this whole process, that's the reason it exists. It's a give and take kind of process. You don't say we'll accept what was presented. That it's a give and take. And so it's up to council. That's why you get the big bucks.
Just making sure for clarification, if we vote yes to agree with you, we are just agreeing to continue conversations, and that's it, correct?
No shovels to the ground yet.
Well, yes, that's exactly, and putting together an agreement, the CPD, I think it's CPD agreement, that we can now look at, that's solid, that we can look at, and then the process we disapprove.
Just to clarify the process under the ordinance, once it goes to Planning Commission and the public hearing is held and the Planning Commission makes its recommendation, which that step has been completed at this point, the CPD proposal and final plan is then placed on the City Council agenda for final action and determination. So that hasn't happened yet. You allowed him to just make a presentation tonight. The actual full CPD site plan as has been revised since it went before the Planning Commission, has not yet been presented to the City Council. So that it has to be placed on the agenda, and the full site plan, along with all the consultant reviews, including the planning consultant review, the engineering review, fire, building, any other reviews, and I may do a memo as well to let you know where we're at in the process. That all has to be presented to City Council. It'll be placed on the agenda. All that material, the final site plan, including all the final consultant reviews, will be, all that'll be on the agenda. All that'll be presented to the City Council. You'll have an opportunity to look over all that ahead of the meeting when you take a final vote, when it comes up on the agenda for your vote. And then you got a lot of discretion at that point. You can say, well, we need some additional information, or we want to see some additional revisions, or, we want to do some additional studies, or you can vote up or down on it at that point. Once you do that, it's the ordinance states, if council grants final approval, council shall instruct the city attorney to prepare a CPD development agreement setting forth the terms and conditions upon which the approval is based. So I'm not going to be able to bring a CPD agreement before you for a vote until the actual full final site plan, along with the consultant reviews, has been presented to you, and then you take whatever action you take. If you approve it subject to the conditions, and whatever discussion you take, because I don't know what conditions to build into the agreement at this point, because you haven't told me that. So, that's, we're still a couple steps away from that. So what I anticipate will happen is in January, the full final site plan, along with all the consultant reviews, that'll be placed on the agenda. And then you'll have an opportunity to look all that over ahead of time, have your discussion at the meeting, and then take whatever action at the January meeting you want to take, whether that's approve it, deny it, approve it subject to conditions, table it for a meeting to get some more information or feedback or more revisions, whatever it is that you decide to do. And then if and when approval or approval with conditions is granted, then at that point, I'll be in a position to actually draft a CPD agreement and bring that back before you. And then, you'll take action on that.
So what you're saying is a preliminary agreement is just not part of?
I could just.
No, your motion, in my opinion, his motion still stands. Instruct the city manager, city attorney to package it up and bring it back to council. It does, he didn't say finally, you said draft, preliminary, all of that, and that would begin with the next meeting if we get there, if we get what we need to bring back to the council, site plan and all that, you approve that, then the next step and the next step and the next step. So your motion still applies. Okay. I mean, it can if it passes. He's not,
sure.
The city attorney's explained he won't be able to finalize a draft, but we all start working on the preliminaries. That's really what we're doing now.
So we're just moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know that the motion needs to be changed. It doesn't say bring us something to vote on. It says move forward. That's the way I interpret it.
And that's the way it's intended to be.
Again, the city attorney, his explanation was very good tonight. So expect if you vote to move ahead tonight, then expect all of that to be on the next agenda, I guess in January. And then if we get past that meeting, then you'll give more instructions or give us your input. And from there, maybe 1 or 2 meetings down, he comes up with a final agreement for your vote. That's how it works, I think.
Madam Mayor, this is Osnick.
Yes.
My understanding is that staff is already moving forward on this. Am I correct in that, Mr. City Manager? The staff is already moving forward on it?
Well, the staff we've received the changes, basically the applicant presented, but we haven't put it on the table It wasn't on this agenda because it came in late, or later than we needed it to. So we're not moving ahead in terms of approval or packaging a final presentation from staff to council. No, we're not that far along, but we've received the information, we've controlled it, and at the next meeting, based on these discussions, regardless of what happens, we'll have it for you. Motion or no motion, you still got to end up voting yes or no on something at the end of this, because there is an applicant that needs to know.
So whether, like you say, whether we vote yes or no tonight, the staff is still going to continue and do exactly what Mr. Lublin is wanting in the line of the motion.
Well,
It just gives a different
specifies
interpretation to
We're
the
just creating a record that the city council said, move the process to the next step. That's the intent, or that's the way I interpreted the intent of his motion, to move it to the next step so the process is fully complete and transparent.
Madam Mayor, is that indeed Mr. Lublin's intent?
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure.
But he just said it is.
It is. That is it, to move it forward.
Okay. I don't see the necessity of it, but
It just creates a record.
do we have any further discussion? We have a motion, we have a second. I guess it's time for a roll call.
Locke,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
No.
Woods,
No.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Ackley.
No.
4 yea, 3 no, motion carries.
Okay. I believe that's the last of our new business. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know we added quite a few things here tonight.
No, I believe
Okay.
that's it, Madam Mayor.
That's it? Okay, we can go into any, I know council's given kind of reports. We can now go into council comments. Starting with, let's start with Tamara tonight.
I would just like to thank our staff. It cannot be mentioned enough how much you do for us and the community. We have accomplished so much, and it's all because of you. So thank you. I hope that everyone has a very happy and safe holiday season. And
thank you. Mindy.
I just want to say thank you to City Manager Witt and the staff and the rest of City Council. That audit was great. It's nice to be out of debt. I mean, we've been hearing about that for years. And it's so nice to have that off our back, and we're able to actually move forward now and just do what we need to do to make the city the great place that it is. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett.
Again, the audit was outstanding, as it has been for the last 5, 6, 7 years, and we are debt-free, so that's quite, that's not to say we won't incur debt if it makes sense. And I want everybody to have a great holiday, and our tree lighting again, we'll give another promo there.
December 2nd.
Monday, December 2nd. It's a lot of fun. It's a great event, and we all have fun there. Thank you.
Casey.
Keep it short and sweet, Madam Mayor. Staff continue to do a phenomenal job, that including our city manager, our city attorney. It's exciting times, like I say, every meeting. It's exciting times to be in the city of Walled Lake. Grown up here all 24 years of my life, and it's been a whirlwind. A lot of things have changed for the better, and I'm excited to continue watching that grow and flourish. That's all I have.
John.
Madam Mayor, At this point in time, as part of my comments, what I'd like to do is I would like to recommend a satisfactory recommendation for the services of the city attorney as well as the city manager, and consider their service for the year to have been satisfactory. This is in regard to their cost of living adjustment. That would be it. That would be my motion.
Okay, is there a second?
Winslow, second.
I guess this is the time to go there.
Had nothing to do with that. I think it was the city attorney, you know?
COLA's what, 2% this year?
Any comments, or are we ready for a vote?
Certainly satisfactory is correct.
Yes,
Mm.
well done.
Make sure the clerk gets that motion correct, okay?
Put it in all caps.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call, please.
Lublin,
Yes.
Osnick,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Fernandez,
Yes.
Locke,
Yes.
Ackley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Consider that your Christmas present.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I agree with everything that's already been said. The elections were phenomenal. So city clerk and your staff, the administration, great job there. Walking into a big line in the morning, and it just flushed right through. So excellent job. Signs look great. One thing that I really wanted to point out was the fire department had a neighbor that had a sewer issue, had worked with a contractor for about 4 weeks, was getting sick. The fire department was called in. They tested some gas smells and stayed there until Oakland County came in and cleared everything out. So neighbor was super happy, said anywhere they've ever lived before, they've never had these types of services. So they wanted to thank the fire department. So thank you, Chief.
Nice job.
Yes, appreciate it.
Mayor, I'd like to add to the Mayor Pro Tem's comment. City staff ran an excellent election this year in a big election year. They ran it with 3 front office folks. You know, we're short. So the 3 ladies in the front office did an outstanding job. They run to one side of the building to do this job, and then they run over here to do that job. But they stayed on it, and they did a great job, and the city clerk is shouted out for doing a great job. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you very much.
Under tough circumstances.
12 out of 10. 12 out of 10.
It's fun.
Okay, I would also like to echo everyone's sentiment. I think we've got a fantastic staff from the city manager on down to the whoever's the bottom and the bottom. I'm not sure if we do have a bottom in Wall Lake, but everybody is great. They come to work, they do an excellent job, and I know the people in Wall Lake appreciate it. And I know as mayor, and I think the city council, I can speak for them as well, appreciate everything that the staff does for us. I think tonight is an example that some of the people in Wall Lake think that the 7 council members set up here and somebody gets an idea and expresses it and we rubber stamp it. Well, every once in a while we do have a little bit of a disagreement. We're not always in 7-0 vote. So, but the nice part about it is we'll go home and still be friends and work together for the betterment of Wall Lake. And I hope to see many, many people at the tree lighting. And I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday for those that I won't personally get to see. And I hope everyone has a safe holiday season. I don't want to see any more 97 miles per hour. So, Merry Christmas to all. And at that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved to adjourn. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so adjourns our last council meeting of 2024.
Thank you,
Merry
Mayor.
Christmas,
Happy
Madam
holidays.
Mayor.
See everybody
Merry
in a couple
Christmas.
weeks.
I guess I will see her on the tree lighting.
See each other.